in to make
You
out.
dick! You like to suck big dicks?
You are such a dick.
You're a dick.
Brenda?
Yeah.
Dick.
Too many dicks. Huh? Too many dicks. Too
Another
many.
victim.
You guys are dogging up my time with all the dicks. We need to spread the dicks out a little bit. There's too many dicks.
You sure look like a dick
Okay.
to me.
You like to suck big dicks. Ow! Ah! Ow! Ah!
It's gonna be me later.
Oh. I like to suck big dicks. Oh,
No, it says I like to suck big dicks.
I'm incel.
Yep.
Women don't like me at all. Okay. This segment is brought to you by dailyapparelstore.com. This Grayson Babcock makes
I got him.
got me. I'm choked up.
I broke his brain.
Well, also I'm reading this too. So
Okay.
don't worry about that. So this segment brought to you by Ukrainian Wives /RussianWidows.com.
And HoLogic. We haven't forgotten about HoLogic.
No,
We
no,
will
I
get
know.
back
We
to
will
you
get-
on that.
Yeah.
New product from KROT.
Oh, Mr. Regan.
Okay, last week we nominated one Robert Regan, a candidate for a House seat in Michigan, because in response to Trump losing the election and conceding, he said, well, what I always say to my daughters is when rape is inevitable, lie back and enjoy it. And
is the stem of the mushroom-shaped HA protein. Unlike changing head, the stem remains largely unchanged from year to year.
yeah, that's one of Robert Regan's daughters
Yeah.
talking there. So Jay felt that it was appropriate that even though he was nominated last week, he didn't win. We crowned a bag of dicks, the KY bag of dicks, as our winner for last week. But he believed this was worthy of a renomination for this week. And in that spirit, I did a little research.
I fulfilled a lot of people's predictions about me. I've become a real scum.
And it turns out he is a scumbag from kind of far back, like 2 years ago, the first time he ran for office. Such a scumbag, in fact, that his own daughter went on Twitter and told everyone in Michigan not to vote for her dad.
Let me out of here.
So Stephanie Regan, in a viral tweet, which
Had to be
racked up
Stephanie.
more than 159,000 likes in the past 2 days. This is from 2 years
Oh,
ago. Stephanie Regan, the daughter of Republican State House candidate Robert Regan, writes, if you're in Michigan and 18 plus, for the love of God, do not vote for my dad for state rep. Tell everyone. In a pair of tweets the day after, Stephanie wrote that her father was Robert Regan and called on voters to research his campaign, writing, I don't feel safe right now sharing further information
What?
regarding his beliefs, but please look him up and just read for yourself.
Do I have a God complex?
Stephanie Regan confirmed her identity to the website The Daily Dot. The Hill has reached out to her for comment. This is
Filled with the love of Christ and Bang energy drink.
and my dad, right? So she doesn't feel, she says, don't vote for my dad, and she doesn't feel safe telling you why right now.
This set me
Why?
off. Like,
What do those two things tell you?
being the father of daughters,
Yeah, both of us being fathers to
whatever.
female children, or mother and father,
Hashtag.
different kids, not related to each other. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was always like, shoot him in the face, stab him in the eyeball. I was never like laid
My
back and enjoy
father
it, right?
was pretty outrageous and inappropriate, but he never would have said anything like that to me. I mean, rape, you just don't joke about that.
Nah, I was like,
especially with your daughters.
I was straight up like John McClane dad to my daughters. I'm like, here's how you shoot a gun. Oh, you're going on a date? Here's a really cool knife. It flicks out like this, and you stab.
You didn't bother. You didn't bother sitting on the porch with the shotgun. You just
Nah.
handed your daughter a knife, and
knife.
said, "This
This
is."
knife flicks out.
I gave my
and
daughter.
you just stab until they stop raping you.
I gave my kid a taser and pepper spray.
There you go.
But I hear that it's better to use bug spray because you can aim it better. So I think I'm going to get a hornet spray because I know how it's designed to spray
Might
from a
just
distance.
get a tiny can of spray paint.
That'll work too. Yeah, burn their eyes and mark them.
Let me tell you about the time that I was fined for excessive use of force when I maced a bar full of people.
Did you?
Yes.
You were fined. That
Yeah.
wasn't the time you had to defend yourself in court.
No. No, I just maced a whole bar full of people because I was irritated.
This was
Their
at
behavior.
Sturgis, no doubt.
No, this was
Oh.
in Colorado Springs. Yeah.
You were irritated.
Well,
That's almost Florida man. Man pepper sprays entire bar because he was irritated.
I was being threatened.
Okay.
The man said, "What are you going to do about it?"
Oh.
Well, I showed him. When I maced him and all of his friends, when I reached under the bar, he said, "What are you going to do about it?" I had the mace, and I just went.
Okay, you were the bartender.
I said-
That's a little different.
I said, "This
you were
is
in
what I'm gonna-"
charge.
I said, "This is what I'm going to do about it." I just maced them all, and then
They
eyes
called the cops.
watering, I walked around the bar and kicked one dude in the face.
Oh,
Yeah, just a little bit.
okay.
I'm not evil.
I don't know whether to be turned on or scared.
But I've never been turned on by my daughters, by the way. Turned on. You see how I did that?
Yeah, I saw how you did that.
Yeah.
That was very clever.
Entendre metaphorical.
Yeah, you used my own joke, not against me, but you used my joke. That's great. But I mean, what
Hey.
do you think of this? So she doesn't feel safe sharing further details. I mean, she doesn't even feel safe talking about her father's policies. She's telling everyone to look it up. She's saying, for the love of God, don't vote for him, because she's scared of him being in power and she is feeling unsafe. I'm wondering how old she was when she wrote this.
I don't know. That's hell of a flex, though.
I don't even think it's a
Hey,
flex.
hey,
It's
if your parents
she's
are-
terrified.
look, if your parents are in the government and they're making terrible decisions that are going to affect your future, I don't know, you might want to pull a flex like this. You might want to stop them. You might want to put them in their place a little bit. Be like, yo, you're talking about my future.
You know, this was around the time of
Old person.
Kellyanne Conway's daughter, Claudia Conway, was being subversive with her mom like this, and her dad, both of her parents. I don't think she felt safe either.
Power behind the throne, yo. I've
Yep.
talked about this before. I've been like, what if you just kids are just, rah, you know? It's like, what are you going to fucking do about it? This is dope.
It's pretty funny. Forrest used to threaten to call Child Protective Services, and I was like, the phone's right there. Got it on speed dial? Yeah, that's what I thought. And then now when they're not happy about something, I'm like, because they're 18, I say, oh, you could call Child Protective Services. Oh, right. That's right.
Damn.
I'm going to report elder abuse. That's what I'm going to do.
She says I'm old.
Okay, so Robert Regan, you are up for Dick of the Week
Yeah.
again.
No, man. Dude, I have disappointed my daughters, but not like this.
Oh, listen to his response. Regan addressed his daughter's tweets in a lengthy statement posted to Facebook on Thursday, saying in part, I'm happy that she feels confident enough in our relationship to express her opposing thoughts so publicly, while encouraging her and others to voice their own opinions. She very explicitly said she doesn't feel confident in sharing her opinions. She's telling other people to do the research because she doesn't want to say it.
I'm guessing her opinions are women's rights. Douchebag.
The candidate told The Hill on Thursday when reached for comment that he was not completely surprised by his
Now we
daughter's
use
words,
that term candidate loosely at this
Yeah.
point.
given their disagreements over issues like systemic racism, the existence of white privilege, and Black Lives Matter, and rape.
Of
course.
A lot of students, when they go up to these liberal university campuses, like the one University of Colorado, look, take offense to that. Spend a lot of time in Colorado. Not wrong there. We're actually very progressive. Shut the fuck up. Jackson Tyner, Terry Tyner at Crawford Ranch, Colorado, they don't agree with you.
And we spray mace on people in bars.
When asked what he thinks could have prompted his daughter to ask people not to vote for him, Regan said, well, her big thing is that I'm a fuckhole and I'm kind of a Marxist asshole. Or she says Marxist. And I'm like, he doesn't know what that means. I don't.
She doesn't like
was
my
good.
comments about rape. She doesn't think they're funny.
She has ideas.
Yeah. She's got some highfalutin women's lib ideas.
Look, she got ideas.
Period.
Can't have
Period.
that.
Can't have it.
Look, can't have her having ideas.
Oh God.
I was waiting for that.
Oh,
I've been bathing in it for like a minute.
oh God.
So
Okay,
that-
I will never have an idea again if that's the
She's a
punishment.
big believer in that. He continued while stuffing his foot right down his throat, adding, the only place where I really see systemic racism
Racing.
would be the abortion clinic, because they seem to target African American community. You fucking stupid, man.
I don't buy into this whole systemic racism thing at all, he later said. I'm not saying there's not hurdles to overcome. We all have hurdles to overcome. You
we
know,
gotta figure out. We haven't quite figured out how to monetize systemic racism.
oh,
Wait,
listen to
never mind.
this.
We did that.
This is now he throws himself under the bus here. You know, as a quote unquote rich white Christian male, people look at me a certain way, and it's not always good. Maybe it's the rape thing.
Hey,
dude.
you know what? Trump would say you're poor and your wife is ugly
Yep.
to be you for.
He'd say you're a cuck and
Yeah.
your wife is ugly, and
You're a-
so are your
You're
daughters, and your daughters are not worthy of being raped.
Reed, you're a beta male and your daughters know it and they're cucking you live on the fucking on the internet, man. Done, dude. I hope you win just so we can make more fun of you later.
The state house candidate added that while discussing his and his daughter's political differences, that on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm like the right
I'm a
wing,
right-wing
a
tan.
10. She's like a 0. I think he's not talking about looks.
Look, dude, the pH scale goes from 0 to 14. And you're on the acidic side of it, dude. You're dissolving people's rights. You're making it easier for people to take away your daughter's rights. And then, boom, I have a problem with that. He also said, unlike his daughter, he doesn't believe in white privilege exists, and he says think different opinions on a matter prompted her tweet. Reagan said his daughter, Reagan said,
Okay, I think
there's no scientific data behind it. What?
I think we've had enough of this douche. Let's move on to the one that's more funny.
Okay.
Okay, so that is Robert Regan.
He's my favorite.
Yeah,
punching
he's
bag.
kind of he's kind of the dick front runner right now. I mean, I know the next person we're nominating really stepped on his dick, but I don't know if it's fully dick worthy. We talked about crowning him immediately, but we want these two to duke it out.
Yeah, let's do it. All right. One
Okay,
right here.
so it's on here.
Oh, we're-
Yeah.
Look at me. Now. mentioned
Give
him.
the background on him once more, Dave Rubin, who he is and what he's done in the past.
Dave Rubin was he was a TYT correspondent.
That's the Young Turks. That's an independent
Something we
media
draw,
outlet.
we draw from them sometimes.
They've got better engineers than we do, so we use their clips a lot.
Yeah, makes sense to me.
Well, this
This
particular
one comes from Figgy, Mike Figueroa.
I think he's part of the TY network.
Maybe, yeah.
And he also has better engineers than we do. So he provided us with this excellent clip of Dave Rubin.
I pulled Dave Rubin out because of how he was basically creaming over fucking Putin, and that the Russian military was all this. Well, you know, he took that step to the where again he's laid like, this is your blanket, motherfucker. Like, we know now. Dave Rubin has done the same thing, but he's like he's a token gay guy for the right. And how about I get sued for that? But he did this, and
free speech.
It was like, okay, there.
So we're trying to figure if this is an attempt at humor or if it's cattiness.
Right. Like, I don't know what the fuck.
And neither does Figaro.
Yeah, we can
to watch. So we'll watch his hair.
About what are you talking about? You want to arrest people who are different than you politically? Tulsi Gabbard, she's a member of our military. She's a former congresswoman, a Democrat. You just don't like her, so you want to arrest her. You want to arrest Tucker Carlson, the very dapper Tucker Carlson.
I got about 1.5 seconds into this before I lost my fucking mind.
Oh no, my jaw dropped. It was like a train wreck. I could not look away from this.
I didn't know this was.
What are you saying? You guys are nuts. You're just nuts. I only agreed to do this show because I thought that Whoopi was sane. She was good. Sister Act 2.
Don't worry, there's more. This was so.
Okay, so his beef, The View, is that
In my wildest dreams,
they're
would I
being
never think
critical.
of that this would be something that you could fucking pull off on a nationally syndicated show. This fucker, right? Like, he's all over the place.
I wonder if he just put the dress and the wig on and said, fuck it,
I
you
don't know how much
guys, I'm
fucking
doing this.
cocaine he did.
Yeah, he's probably said, fuck it, you guys, I'm doing this. I don't care what you say. You're fired if you don't like it. I'm doing this. Yeah, that's what I'm
in a
guessing.
million fucking years, no matter how famous I thought I was. Wait for it.
Oh God.
Anna's just nuts. I don't even know what she's doing here. The other one's a racist. There's the drunk one. What are we all doing here?
Okay, so I don't watch The View, but I guess
Neither do I.
his beef with them is that they are being critical of people like Tulsi Gabbard and Tucker Carlson. They're not like, and maybe they're saying
this
that's-
is his response.
They
Look,
have an opinion about it, and they're maybe saying that something
Again,
should be done. I don't necessarily agree.
this is performance art, just like those preachers. This shit is
yeah,
like,
but he's not entertaining. The preachers are.
I'm like,
entertaining as
dude,
hell.
did you stay up all night and thought this? This
Yeah,
would
I know,
fly?
because we plan a show.
Is this purposely? Like, is he trolling us? Is he doing this to get us to watch it?
I think he saw The View, he had a reaction to it, and this is his reaction, and he thinks he's being
Everything that you've come to hate.
he thinks he's
You know
making a
that?
point, and he's being
Ugh.
properly mean to them by going in drag. And one thing that the conservatives think is that if you are a woman and a man dresses up as you, that's an insult to a cis woman. That could, because they're basically saying you're masculine and you're ugly and you don't pass as a woman.
Well, that shit needs to stop.
Yeah, so that's part of it. I
Look,
mean,
you
that's
guys
kind of
are
the underlying theme there.
Ruben, you're overthinking it, bro. Like, when you're doing this shit, Like when you're doing this, bro, like you're overthinking it, man. Like this is I think sometimes I go too far in some of the shit that I say. And that's just when we're talking off the air. So I'll be like, what if I said this? Just to,
We've said some crazy stuff on
Right.
there, and so have I.
But
But I think it's harder coming from
this-
you because you're a white man.
you fucking diss.
Yeah,
This is
just
unacceptable.
garbage.
Yeah.
It's just he has this big platform, and this is what he's doing with it. It's like
Well-
it's not even funny.
Hey, Dave Rubin, when we come back, we're gonna come back in the next segment. This is brought to you by dailyapparelstore.com.
No, that was the last. Oh, this. Yeah, we talked about that before. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm
Did that
bleeding
already.
my segments together. We're not ready for San Juan slingshots.
No,
We save the best for last.
Are you fucking kidding me? Like, how is it like the fucked up thing about this is that her and I, and Nothing Yet Live, I am the Jay Tyler,
I am your Ms. Parker. Where are we going?
we're gonna get blamed for making fun of this douche for doing this shit.
I don't know. I could probably talk to some
If we all
trans women who would say that
canceled, motherfucker.
that we're completely justified in what we're saying about this douchebag.
Now, what do you know? You're just insert pronoun here.
Yeah, I'm just you know, I
I am
hang with
the-
a lot of native speakers.
I am the
let's put it
insert
that way.
adjective here, Jay Tyler.
So do you. You hang anyway.
I
I
hang- I
am
don't hang
your Miss
anybody.
Parker. Yeah. Oh, yeah, just people's cats. I'm sorry, I said that on air. I should have waited.
We're gonna get back to that, and we'll get back to this.
I'm
I
gonna
have the
get
Jay Tyler.
whipped.
I have the Jay Tyler.
And I'm gonna get whipped.
This is Nothing Yet Live.
Okay, I have to